Potty training guru says tough, Mother Hubbard childhood paved way for success. Amanda Jenner may be hugely successful today, but she had a difficult upbringing, raising her own siblings as her heartbroken father struggled after her mother left the family home. But it gave her the spark to help others. The mom of three has for the past 20 years been a hugely respected child expert, potty training guru, and This Morning regular, who has sold over 2 million of her own invention, the My Carry Potty, worldwide. Here, Amanda, 51, who has also helped toilet train the broods of many famous faces, opens up about how her life experiences brought her exactly where she is today, her top tips for desperate potty training parents, and her big hopes for the future.
Looking for a premium phone without the premium price? This renewed, unlocked iPhone 14 offers 128 gigabytes of storage, a sharp 6.1-inch display, and 5G capability for around $299. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/6 right now.
Amanda, you're the potty training guru. How does someone get into that career? I had a very tough background, but it gave me the fire in my belly to make my future better. I left school at 15 with 2 GCSEs and got told I'd never do anything with my life. I just thought, no, I'm meant for more. When I was young, I lived with my dad for a lot of the time and basically brought up my siblings. I missed a lot of school. I was like Mother Hubbard at 9 years old. As a teenager, I had 3 jobs: cleaning, chambermaiding, and waitressing. Then I had my own clothes shop at 18. Clearly, you've always been very entrepreneurial, but you grew up fast. I'm part Maltese, my mum is Maltese, so it was unusual for someone from her background to leave us like she did and go home. I lived with my dad in Portsmouth from 9 to 13, then mum from 13. But my experiences made me realize that if I could improve children's lives, then I would. I grew up, had my own children, got married, and developed the My Carry Potty through having George, my eldest son. You never know where to put the contents of a potty, and I didn't like chucking them down a drain. I thought, for God's sake, there's got to be something better out there. I wanted to put a lid on a potty. Yes, my first husband and I split up. I've been married to my second husband, Darren Jenner, for 20-odd years. My husband and I were in the garage one day. He said, "Look at this, what is it?" And I said, "It's an invention of mine. I'm going to do it one day." He said, "No, you're going to do it now." I got the prototype made and banged on the door of John Lewis about 100 times. I filled the potty up with water, handed it around, they opened it, and couldn't believe it was 100% leak-proof. I got my first order a few days later of 356 potties. I had to remortgage my house to place an order because the minimum was a container full. Yes, 3,200 potties arrived on my drive in a container outside our 3-bedroom house. I was like, Jesus, I did not calculate that very well. I tested every single one for a week in the kitchen with my friends. I called them all over, plied them with wine, and we tested them. I didn't want any to leak before I went to my first John Lewis. Yes, I started getting it into more stores, working in the evenings after I put my kids to bed. I'd be on Facebook until 2 a.m., parents started asking for help, and the rest is history. I hope to inspire others to believe in themselves, even if you don't come from a privileged background. You have a famous 5-day potty training regime. What are the key takeaways? Yes, in essence, it's about getting to know the child and never judge, as every child is different. You need patience, but don't put too much pressure on yourself. I really believe it's about education, getting the equipment, then keeping it consistent for a few days in and out the home, and rewarding your child. A big thing is we think one day, I'm going to potty train the child this weekend because we've got a gap. And they've been in that nappy for 3 years. We put the potty in front of them and say, "Sit on the potty," and they're like, "What is this? I don't want to sit on that horrible thing." It's got to be gradual and consistent. I potty trained Charlotte Tilbury's son. He did not want to sit on that potty. He was screaming. I helped Fern McCann and Rochelle Hums, too, also the loveliest people. I really respect those who aren't scared to ask for help. I had one client, and I will never forget this for the rest of my life. She had towels on the floor, and she was potty training her child to just stand up and pee on the towels. She believed in the freedom of going to the toilet. The smell was just unbearable. I lasted a day. How do you feel about Louise Thompson's recent comments, which seemed to mock statistics about children not being potty trained by the time they start primary school? Absolutely nobody knows how hard, or otherwise, it is for any individual child and mum. We should all support each other and hold each other high. You have a new children's book out, too, the first in the series Maury's Magic Milestones. I wanted to create something children and parents could use, with little interactive pull-out bits to get them engaged. Simon and Schuster truly believed in me and offered me a 4-book deal. So the books will follow all the different levels and milestones in a child's life, like going to sleep. Putting the dummy away, I'm really excited. I'd like an advice column one day helping kids up to teenage years with some real talk. I wouldn't wish what I went through on anyone, but it drives me every day to do what I do. Amanda Jenner's Maury's Magic Milestones Ready for My Potty is available on Amazon. For more of the latest showbiz news and gossip, follow Mirror Celebs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Threads.